we got the slate now, right? Opening night, national television, all the games on Christmas or whatever, right? We've seen it all now. So the reigning champs, let's get back to them. The Knicks opening their season against LeBron and the Sixers. Dave, what do you expect the atmosphere to be like at MSG?
It's going to be like Game 4 of the NBA Finals when they made that incredible comeback, and it was electric within the walls of that arena, the world's best arena, and you have the most intriguing team as their opponent. The Sixers would have been intriguing had they just traded for Jaylen Brown, but you throw in LeBron James, it's going to be must-see TV, and it's going to be where I'm going to be. I'm going to be there for that opening night game.
Can I come with you?
Oh, please, come on.
Can we just clear my schedule just for that day?
Yeah, let's do it.
Wasn't there like a little subplot of if the Knicks didn't win, LeBron potentially could have gone there,
Rich
right?
Paul said it.
So to me, that's even more wild, the fact that this is a team that he could have seen himself on, but instead he's on the Sixers, and I just feel like we're underselling the energy because they're going to have rings for the players. I'm sure that everyone courtside is going to have rings as well.
Yes.
Mariska Hargitay, John Turturro, Zach Joe,
The whole SVU
Ben
crew.
Stiller, the
Yes.
entire crew of SVU has rings. But to me, this is great. This is how you start the season. You want to see the biggest matchups, and that's it right there. The biggest players and the biggest teams in the most magical arena.
All right, David, what's the best possible matchup for opening night for you?
To me, I mean, yeah, it's that matchup, right? It is the Lakers Sixers, but also we got to also talk about that Spurs OKC.
Oh,
right?
no doubt.
Like that to me is the definitive rivalry that we're going to have for the next decade, probably. As these young guys are going to be going at each other for the foreseeable future. Right now, no disrespect to the Knicks, I still have them in that top tier with them. But these are the two teams that have the best odds to make it to win the championship, right? And we're talking about like a nasty rivalry. This thing went 7, and we're coming off of this thing talking about Chet.
Wemby cried when he won.
Wemby cried when he won, but look at what we're talking about with OKC. Yep. Chet got his lunch money taken. Everybody's talking about how he was in the offseason. J-Dub and the idea that, hey, he's not healthy. The OKC would have won that series. I want opening night. I want 7 games in the playoffs. I want a midseason tournament. I don't know if we can add another game. Like, Blake can play 15 times. I want as many of these games as we possibly can.
Yeah. Here. I mean, listen, also, let's talk about the Sixers-Knicks, though, for a second. It's banner night, right?
Right.
Too. I mean, like, this 53 years, they've been waiting to see that. So we get to see that go up. And the last 2 times LeBron was in the building when a team raised the banner, the Nuggets and the Warriors, 10-point losses. So he has something to try to reverse that.
And if we're speaking about, Madison Square Garden, the cheapest ticket right now for ring night, banner night, is $2,000. We're already in playoff on game 1 of 82.
$2,000.
So you you buying the ticket, or are you going to get credentials?
So I might need to find that credential.
Okay, we can work
I'm
on that.
not going to buy that ticket.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, it just tells you everything that this is the place to be. And I just can't see a better way to start the season than that. Like, hello, we are back.
And we're talking about those Knicks fans. Like, of course, it's been a celebration. And the Knicks, the one thing you know about New York, they know how to find a chip on their shoulder. Right. And as much as they're celebrating, they know that everybody in this offseason has been talking about the other teams, the other moves. Philadelphia has snatched all of these headlines. LeBron is there. Jaylen Brown is there. Now the Knicks are like, hey, wait, don't forget about us. This was not a one-off. Yes, this was a drought that we ended. Everybody's happy. We want another one. We are New York. The fans are going to be feeling that. The Knicks are going to take that crown back and say, we have a reason that you're talking about us.
All right, look at these guys behind me here. You got Wemby, you got Shea, you got Jaylen, you got LeBron. Dave, I'll start with you. Who's most likely, in your opinion, to hoist the championship trophy this coming season?
Oh, wow. So I'm not ready to say it's going to be any of those teams.
Oh, okay.
I'm just not ready.
Okay.
Like, would we have all said the Knicks last year in August?
No, I don't believe it.
Probably not, right? Until they caught fire in the playoffs. So I'm open for another team emerging, but I do think all 3 teams on the right are the championship tier. They're the prohibitive favorites on the 3 teams on the right.
The Spurs and Thunder have the shortest odds to win the 2027 NBA title at plus 270. And the last time there were 2 teams tied for the shortest title odds to start the season was the 22-23 season with the reigning conference champion Celtics and Warriors. Chiney, real quick, any thoughts on the question I asked, Dave?
I think the most interesting stat is that we've had a different champion for 8 seasons straight.
Right.
So even though teams want to get back to the mountaintop, that path is so much harder. If you look at the Eastern Conference, yeah, you feel good if you're the Knicks when you won, but then a few months later or a few weeks later, now you're looking at Toronto and Kawhi pending. Now you're looking at Miami and, Giannis heading down there. Now you're looking at Philly. Most obviously, you'll get a good look at them on opening night. But then we haven't talked about the Detroit Pistons. Didn't they finish last year with the best record?
60-plus wins, right?
In the Eastern Conference. They're also one of those teams that are flying under the radar. I don't know why. I just have been following the chemistry building. The San Antonio Spurs, I think they're going to be motivated from falling short. Okay?
Yeah.
So I like how they're together in France and all those types of things. So I look at the Spurs like maybe they can do it.
All right, let me ask you, Dave. You mentioned you'll be at the Knicks game. How about that matinee that we got, Detroit and Boston?
It's the first time in league history.
Yeah.
There's going to be 3 nationally televised games on opening night in a lockout shortened season.
Right.
And I've talked to people around the league today, and they're like, we could sense the excitement for the NBA right now, so let's experiment with this thing.
Let's do it.
They talked with executives at NBC, and it was kind of a joint decision that this is something we can turn into a celebration of the game. It's already a marquee moment for the league. Let's see if we can enhance it and turn it into a major showcase. Maybe down the line this becomes a tradition for NBA fans. And listen, it's not that abnormal to see sporting events during the daytime
Baseball
in
does it all the
America.
time.
Baseball, the NHL season tipped off at 5 p.m. or whatever, pucked off.
Drop the puck.
There you go. And then also added bonus, hey, it's an international game. 3 p.m. Eastern is primetime viewing in Europe.
That's a great point, for sure.
3 p.m. Eastern is also primetime viewing in America for NBA content.
Fair enough, too. Hey, listen, noon Pacific, I'll take it. All right, still to come on NBA today. We just saw who's playing opening night. So how about our night? Who do we got headlining ESPN's games on Wednesday and Thursday? Well, check it out. You won't be disappointed. Plus, Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie, but these festive matchups should be absolute cinema, okay? You'll want to see which teams are holiday hooping. And Indiana's backcourt has been setting the league on fire. But how do they match up against the Liberty? We break it down next. Stick around for NBA Today. The first taste of the NBA schedule dropped this morning. Here are the opening day matchups on October 20th. Celtics-Pistons, followed by LeBron and the Sixers against the reigning champs, and the rematch of the Western Conference Finals. That's just the start. On the following night, we have a monster doubleheader to tip off ESPN's calendar. We get our very first look at the reshaped rosters for the Wolves and Heat, followed by Steph and the Warriors taking on the Lakers. That first game features the debut of some new teammates, Giannis and Bam against LaMelo and Ant. Chene, which new duo are you most excited to see?
Give me South Beach. Give me Miami because the front court combines for potentially, 60 points per game and 25 rebounds per game on 60% shooting, which is wild. Keep an eye, though, on their guards because they are losing Tyler Hero, who is a three-point shooter. They lost Norm Powell, who was an all-star, led them and made threes. So there will be a lot of shots to be had based off of that front court prowess in the paint. Hopefully the guys will knock down shots so that they can actually start rolling.
And do LaMelo and Bam still have beef? We'll find out. Luka and Austin Reeves have the keys in L.A. now that LeBron is gone. So, Dave, how are the Lakers feeling about their roster in the post-LeBron era?
George, I know Luka's been on the team for a year and a half, but this is going to be the start of the Luka Doncic era in Los Angeles. This roster was retrofit around his skill set, his needs, his wants, starting with Walker Kessler, obviously, in the middle. They were able to retain Austin Reeves, and they got a bunch of new role players. All 5 starters that played in the opening round against the Houston Rockets for the Lakers are now gone. It's going to be a very different team with Luka Doncic at the middle.
ESPN has another doubleheader on Thursday. The next day, on the 22nd, it's the Cavs, and they'll be in Philly for LeBron and the Sixers home opener at 7 Eastern, followed by Denver in OKC against the Thunder. So the Joker and Shea. For a while, it seemed like LeBron was going to return to Cleveland. So DDJ, when they go into Philly and face off, he will have more motivation that particular night.
It's got to be Cleveland. Last time we saw them, everybody was saying that they quit against the Knicks. Then you have an offseason where you feel like you're in pole position for LeBron James, and he chose Philadelphia over going back home to end his career. You show up and say, we're the team better than what we showed everybody at the end of that conference finals, and we can still win without LeBron James. This is for Cleveland to really reestablish themselves as being the second best team, at least in the East.
As for the Nuggets and Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokic have combined to win 5 of the last 6 MVP awards. And over that span, they've split their 18 regular season meetings exactly down the middle, 9-9. SGA averaging just under 27 points per game, and Jokic nearly averaging a 23-point triple-double. All right, a year ago at this point, we were looking at Denver as the biggest.
The NBA schedule release has already made the upcoming season feel like a major event. The Knicks will celebrate their first championship in 53 years before immediately facing LeBron James and the revamped Sixers, creating one of the most anticipated opening nights imaginable. The matchup at Madison Square Garden has much more than a championship celebration behind it. Philadelphia now has LeBron and Jaylen Brown, while New York wants to prove last season was only the beginning. With the Knicks raising their banner, the Sixers will have the perfect opportunity to spoil the celebration. Thunder Spurs could be just as important for the future of the league. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Victor Wembanyama are becoming 2 of the NBA's biggest faces, and their teams already have a competitive history. Their rivalry has everything needed to become one of the defining battles of the next decade. The rest of opening week is loaded with new combinations and familiar stars. Giannis and Bam will headline Miami. Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball will lead Minnesota, while Luka Doncic enters his first full season as the unquestioned centerpiece of the Lakers. Cleveland also gets an emotional matchup against LeBron after missing out on bringing him home. Denver might be facing the most pressure of all. Nikola Jokic continues to produce at an unbelievable level, but the roster around him does not look as strong as it did during their championship season. If the Nuggets cannot compete near the top of the West, the organization could eventually face difficult questions about whether it is doing enough to keep Jokic satisfied.